Hey, what's up, peeps? Straight Shootin LJA here, and welcome to another episode of the Straight Shootin View. Now, one thing I do want to quickly talk about is chairmen and directors of football as well. Basically, people in high positions at clubs coming out and talking smack. Now, most recently, Tony Khan, who is director of football at Fulham Football Club, and also owner of All Elite Wrestling, aka AEW, who are trying to be competition for WWE, obviously. He come out recently and said some very interesting comments after a 3-0 defeat of Fulham by Aston Villa. And the way what he said, I think, was totally ill-advised, and a lot of people have buried him for it. Jamie Carragher has buried him for it. Even Scott Parker came out and said, yeah, I was a bit disappointed in those comments, because at the end of the day, he came out after the defeat and was like, sorry about that performance. We've had an issue with centre-backs. We've been trying to get centre-backs since we beat Brentford at Wembley, and we had a fourth choice centre-back. We had a fourth centre-back that we thought we were going to get, but we didn't. And, we had one who we thought we were going to get on a free, but it didn't happen, and all that. And it's like, I first thought to myself, you know what? He's gone to the Jose Mourinho, playbook of excuses. Oh, we wanted this player, but we couldn't get this player, so I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that defeat. It's like, number one, at that point, we were 3 games into the season. No, that's number one. But number two, there was no need for him to come out and say it. I mean, I mentioned AEW deliberately earlier because at the end of the day, Tony Khan is not Vince McMahon. He's not Dana White. You don't need to come out and make these grandiose statements and come out with press conferences saying, we did this because of that. Just keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. Just like, John W. Henry, as a Liverpool supporter, got nothing but love, admiration and respect for John W. Henry and what him and his team, including Michael Edwards, big shout out to him, have done for my club of Liverpool. But cast your minds back to when Arsenal offered 40 million plus £1 to try and buy Luis Suarez from us. Yes, it was stupid, it was absurd, but there was no need for John W. Henry to say, what are they smoking in regards to Arsenal? No need for a man in such a position as an owner of a Premier League club to come out and say that. No reason to come out and say that. So for me, certain chairmen, directors of football, and people in high positions really don't need to come out and say that. And the reason I mentioned John W. Henry's one and also Tony Khan is because both of those were unprompted. Yes, there will have been stuff said on Twitter, like people sending messages and all that, but there's no need for you to respond to it. It's not as if, as I call them, the parasitic media, more on them in a second. It's not as if it's the parasitic media poking the bear and goading people for a reaction. They do that enough anyway. And speaking of that, I said, just to round up on Tony Khan, it's like, you shouldn't have done it. Because imagine the morale of those Fulham players already, especially those ones playing at the back. Yeah, you just got beaten 3-0, and now you got your director of football, who's one of the leaders of the club, who you're already kind of potentially concerned that his focus is not necessarily totally on the club. It's more on a wrestling promotion because he wants to be the next Vince McMahon. And I can't blame him. I would want to be a multi-billionaire too, and run the wrestling business. But it's one of them where it's like, you're already concerned about potentially concerned about those things, and now you've got your director of football basically throwing you under the bus and saying, you're not good enough. Because that's literally, if you read between the lines, that's what Khan has basically said. The lot we've got, because he also said as well that, we've been trying to get We've been trying to get players in since Wembley when they beat Brentford in the playoff final, and we're gonna keep trying. We're basically gonna keep trying and get some players in soon. So what kind of morale boost is that? Well, what kind of sledgehammer to morale is that to the players that are already there, trying their best week in, week out? So as said, like, chairman speaking out like that is counterproductive. It's counterproductive, and it's also disrespectful to the talent that you have, where you're saying, oh yeah, sorry about that, we've been trying to get other talent in, we're going to get other talent in, but you got to make do with the crap that we've got. He may as well have said that. In my opinion, he might as well have Tony Khan may as well have just come out and said that. But I said, owners, directors of football, people in that position don't need to be doing that, because it also undermines, indirectly, it actually undermines the manager. Directly, it undermines the players. Indirectly, undermines the manager. Because the manager, who's trying to get the best out of those players, has just seen the director of football, owner, chairman, whoever it is in that situation, particular situation, not just the Fulham one, basically bury their efforts as well. Because it's like, well, the next person that entity could turn on is the manager. But also as well, generally blame travels up. So managers / head coaches, like say a Scott Parker for instance, it's one of them where obviously he'll be shouldering a lot of the blame for those defeats. So it's counterproductive when directors of football, managers, chairmen, people in that position come out with that kind of stuff. Very much counterproductive. But I just see it as like there's no need for it. And that's where my kind of axe to grind is. But there are exceptions. And one major exception is Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish. Now, he came out a few weeks ago because Crystal Palace were being linked with our youngster Rhian Brewster for 25 million plus like 5 million worth of add-ons. And Steve Parish was like, hold on a minute, where in the hell did you get this from? Because this is not true. None of this is true. And it was Sky Sports reporting it as well. And Sky Sports, to me, have been, they've shown their true colours over the last decade or so with certain things that they've done, like when Suarez came back after the ban, after the racism ban for the incident with Patrice Evra. And you wouldn't have thought, and the match that he came back in was a Liverpool Man United match, and you would have thought that it was going to be Evra versus Suarez in a bare knuckle boxing match, rather than a match between two of the biggest teams in the world, let alone England. And then there was Sky Sports News changing one of Raheem Sterling's quotes about the gun tattoo on his leg. There's that as well. So Sky Sports / Sky Sports News as an entity just kind of rubbed me the wrong way at times. But Steve Parish, he called them out for it. He was like, I don't know. He was basically to the effect of, I don't know where you got this information from, but none of it is true. So that's one time where it's totally appropriate for a chairman, director of football, owner of a club to come out and not talk smack, but to address bogus news, fake news, if you want to call it that, rumour and innuendo. Because there's way too much rumour and innuendo in football already. And during transfer season, it's annoying. I actually personally hate it. I actually personally hate the transfer windows because the rumours are a dime a dozen. They're very easy to spread and way too many people do it. It's just like some people talking smack. Some people just love to do it and throw others under the bus. See Jose Mourinho as an example, as a prime example. Pep Guardiola also whinging about, oh yeah, I've got injuries. It's like, dude, you spent like 300 million on defenders. What, none of them's worth a damn? Whatever. Your bankroll by a shake. But anyway, so it's one of them where I just see it as, there's on a general basis, I said that Steve Parish one is an exception, and fair play to him for calling out the parasitic media for their crap. But as I said, on a general basis, there's no need. If you're in a high position in football, you don't need to, for lack of a better term, come down to that level. Because whatever you say, more likely than not, you're not going to convey exactly what you want to, how you want to. And there will be people who will take what you say wrong. And if you're wording something straight from the heart, more likely than not, you're going to get what you're saying wrong, and you're going to have to come back and retract statements and be like, oh, well, I didn't mean it like that. Well, you really shouldn't have said it in the first place then. So it is what it is. But you know what? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know at SSLJA on Twitter, at Pitch Talk as well, facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. It is one of them ones. Look out for Pitch Talk Group on Facebook and facebook.com/Pitch Talk, at Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we are up to. I am at SSLJA on Twitter. Hit me up. Facebook.com/Straight Shootin, no G, LJA. No G, just an apostrophe. But you know what? I want to know your views. The comment section is down there. Let me know your views. Should chairmen, directors of football, people in high standing, high positions of football, should they really be commenting after defeats? Especially when they're basically throwing people under the bus and trying to make up excuses for the defeat? Should they? I don't think so. But let me know your views. I've been Straight Shootin LJA. Remember, the Pitch Talk revolution is back. Shout outs to the G-Man, Jezzy Fizzle, Nath as well, and also JBK. More vlogs coming soon to keep your eyes peeled. See you next time, peeps, on the Straight Shootin View. Nice.